Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. Well, back by popular request to meet a couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing my affirmation teachings from Awaken Joy by my good friend James Barras. I'm not naive. I don't think that the kumbaya factor, getting around in a circle and singing together, is enough to transform ourselves or the planet. It helps, but to have what they call the bliss of blamelessness, I want to use Buddha's phrase, incline your mind to well-being. Even though joy may seem so disconnected from what's going on in the world, but focusing only on the terrible things of the world and overlooking the beauty and the goodness that can pull us back from life and make us fall into despair. If you only see the worst, it destroys your capacity for something else. So living with a mind at ease doesn't mean you're going to give up your enthusiasm for life, because I've learned that joy is not incidental to the spiritual experience, it's essential. So frequently ponder upon this, intentionally invite and cultivate wholesome states of mind, focus on what gladdens your heart, and then you can change your default settings so that joy is more natural, not forced. Because your brain right now, for so many people, is like Velcro for negativity and Teflon for positivity. And you want to do the exact opposite. You want your brain to be Velcro for positivity and Teflon for negativity. If you do your work, people and life can fling shit and it doesn't stick. So you always hear me talk about the amygdala, the part of your brain that's always primed for bad news. It helps to confirm your worst fears. But if you fire new neurons together, you'll wire them together. If you understand that aspect of happiness is a choice that you make. So find what I call your user-friendly experiences, the joy of movement, not only just yoga, keep moving your body, be creative, find some art form, learn to create a nourishment list. What are the things that really get you off and put you in that place? Play. Homo ludens, human beings are made for adventure and play. So get out there, do it. Sit in silence every day, meditate, have a journal, write down your thoughts, reflect. Most important, have a joy buddy, somebody who you get together with. And if you have to, you can hold space for like stuff that's going on in your life. But mostly it's to do something where each and every time you feel good about what you're doing. Walk in the park, go to a museum, a concert, a great restaurant, whatever it is, find a joy buddy. Well, it's Thursday. That means it's story day. So let me go into one of my favorite stories from Ramakrishna. Once there was a poor woodcutter, Johnny Carson style. How poor was he? He was so poor that if he didn't work every single day, he didn't even have a few pennies to get a bowl of rice for his family. It wasn't that he was lazy, it was just that he came from a village where everybody was in the woodcutter caste. His father was a woodcutter, his grandfather before that, and so on. So there was no Baskin Robbins choices of what he's going to do for his major. He was a woodcutter. So every day he went out in the forest to ply his trade. But again, when there's so many woodcutters, supply exceeds demand, your work is not worth much. But he loved his family, so he went out every day. Now, according to the Indian tradition, if you happen to pass by a sadhu, a wandering holy person, this is your opportunity to bow down and get their blessing, because they may have the power of what's called Vak Siddhi. Anything they say becomes truth on the material plane, like we say, from your mouth to God's ears. And that's how it was. Anyway, one day as he's going to the forest, he passes by a wandering sadhu. He realizes this is his moment. He bows down in prostration. The sadhu raises his hand and says, "Go forward, my child, go forward." He walks away, looks up, "Go forward, go forward." I wait my whole life to have an experience like this. And do I get a mantra? No. Does he elucidate some passage of the Holy Writ? No. Does he tell me some practice that I could raise my Kundalini? No. Instead, I get MapQuest, go forward. That's my lot in life. So anyway, he goes forward, he goes to the forest, he raises his axe to, fell down a tree, and all of a sudden he hears the voice of the sadhu in his mind. "Go forward, my child, go forward." And in one of those moments he says, "Yeah, what the hey-ho?" He didn't say stop. Why not? So he sheathes his axe, he walks into the forest, and all of a sudden he comes across a grove of oak trees. Everybody knows that the branches of the oak trees are fantastic for kindling, never found in the market. Oh, so he cuts it down, he takes it to the market. Oh, all of a sudden, everybody's a buzz. Nobody has this kind of wood. So he sells it for a little bit of profit. Now, for the first time, he has a decent meal in months for his family. Well, he's a master of the forest. He knows exactly where this grove of oak trees is. So he goes back the second day. He raises his axe to hit the oak tree. He hears the voice of the sadhu. Go forward, my child. In his mind, he's saying, I went forward. I got what you. All right, fine. Don't bug me. Puts his axe in, walks further into the forest. Eucalyptus grove. A twofer. The bark is great for firewood, but the leaves are used medicinally in Ayurveda for different kinds of lung and croup things. Ah, he's fantastic. So he goes to the apothecary, sells the leaves, goes to the market, sells the wood, and now he not only has some food, for money for food, he has some surplus. Ooh, now he's riding high. Third day, he goes back. He's about to hit the axe to the eucalyptus tree. He hears the voice of the sadhu in his mind. Go forward, my child. Well, you know, in the Indian tradition, to be enlightened, not only don't you have to be literate, you don't have to read or write. You don't have to even think. In fact, thinking is going to prevent you from being enlightened. He doesn't waste a nanosecond because he realizes what's happening. He sheathes the sword. He walks further into the forest. Now he discovers lignum vitae, the hardest wood in the world. And now he realizes he's on the verge of becoming a very prosperous woodcutter. But in this story, the blessings multiply. He doesn't stop there. And then the next day, he goes in and finds a silver mine, and the next day, a gold mine, and the next day, a diamond mine. Now he becomes wealthy as Lord of Wealth, Kubera. So the moral of the story is, whatever you do, go forward, my friends.